What is an adult problem that nobody prepared you for?
It's so fucking lonely. It is.
That your romantic relationships in your 20s are just a reflection of your parents' relationship, and you're attracted to partners because they feel like home, but perhaps home wasn't the best place for you, but it's familiar, and so your subconscious mind, the mind that develops between 0 and 7 years old, seeks out what's familiar so it feels safe, even if the situation isn't safe. And these relationships just cultivate so much self-awareness, but that's not what you think is going to happen when you get into the relationship. You begin to see patterns that you've inherited from your parents, like victim-perpetrator complex, lots of dark shadow stuff for real. Taking things personally, making assumptions, but then you get to the root of it, again, the subconscious mind, and you understand that the only reason you're having emotions is because of a limiting belief that you have. So then you undo your entire psychology and have to rebuild it again?
I'll go.
Kind of how life became so lonely after high school. And I mean, the fact that we live in a time where there's COVID, it didn't help at all. Other than that, life after high school, pre-COVID, was still kind of lonely, bro. Unless you didn't have that tight bond of, like, group of friends in high school, once you started college, everybody just disappears. And then, like, everybody in college does not care about you. They go in and out of that campus to get their work done, and that's it. Unless you're, like, forced to do projects or whatever. And, like, that's a big change. Because in high school, we're kind of forced to interact with each other. We were in the same building 5 times a week, you know? But, like, that's not the case anymore. And that's why networking is something so important that they didn't teach us. Being able to learn a skill that help you make more bonds with people. Because right now, we're all on our solo mission.
Boy, oh boy, have I been waiting for this one. The jocks and or frat boys, they don't ever outgrow it. They just become sexual offenders in the future. Cheese is very expensive. Everybody casually does cocaine, which I haven't quite fully grasped yet, even though I used to have a cocaine addiction. Kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't, even after so long. $1,000 is like 20 bucks. If you have enough money, you can pay to not do a damn thing with your life. So not knowing how to do anything will fuck you in the end. Dating was never about looks. It was literally about how two people vibe together. Would have never guessed. If you don't pay attention to how you set up your taxes, you will have to pay so much more at the end of the year because the government just automatically says, we're gonna fuck you really hard, make you think you have all this money. You don't need to go to college to be successful. You don't need to work a 9 to 5 to be successful. Your biggest supporters are gonna be the strangers online because nobody where you grew up wants to see you succeed in the same place that you came from.
At some point, you are going to have a boss or manager that you are smarter than. And you will have to take bad direction from them and do their job for them because your job depends on it. So, good luck.
Nobody fully prepared me for the 4 stages of adulthood. For those that don't know the 4 stages, here they are. The first stage is the young dumbass stage, where you're completely oblivious to the train wreck of a shit show that's about to happen. During this stage, you actually drink for fun. Then we come to the what the actual fuck is going on here stage. You're slowly figuring out you have no control over your life. It's not all sunshine and palm trees. Then we slam right into the it is what it is stage. By now you have a couple of crotch goblins that secretly you want to throat punch every day. At this stage, you're drinking just enough to keep the hope alive. Then we arrive to the final and my personal favorite stage, the fuck it stage. At this stage, you're drinking enough alcohol every day to power a fucking vehicle while you're waiting to get kicked in the head by a horse or run over by an ice cream truck. So there you have it. Stay positive. Have a great night.
A few things. One, scheduling my own doctor's appointments because, like, I'll call sometimes and I'm like, hi, is this a hospital? And they're like, who are you? And then I hang up because I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And then also like dinner, right? Like I have to actively know how to make more than 3 things because I have to make my own dinner every night until I die. And I can't just be eating spaghetti and peanut butter sandwiches. I think that might shorten my lifespan. Also medicine, right? When a doctor prescribes you something to take and it's like, take 2 of these like every 6 hours. I'm like, okay, cool. I heard that, right? But I still need to like ask my parents just to make sure. I'm like, hey, like I'll try to do it like slightly. I'll be like, oh yeah, the doctor says to take 2 of these every 6 hours. Does that sound right? Like, is that Is that right? And my parents are like, do you not know? I'm like, can you tell me? Because I'm scared.
Being a woman. Yeah, being a woman, I feel like, especially as a Muslim Arab, also known as a Musrab woman, I was never prepared for what it really meant to be a woman. And I mean that in the sense that you seeing yourself second to a man and having to be okay with that, like your whole life, yeah, guys gotta eat first and they need this substance, and you lower your gaze when you're around them, don't look at them, and don't do this and don't do that, and protect them in mind, body, and spirit because they're fragile and all that. But what about a woman's fragility? And what about a woman's mind, body, and spirit? I wasn't prepared for me not to matter. And that sounds fucking dramatic, but it's true.
I don't know, like all of them. Like taxes. I have no idea how to do my taxes. Every year I just give them to a nice man named Gabriel that I met on Craigslist. He does this for 15 minutes and then tells me I'm getting money in the mail. Like, I love it, but I could also be going to jail for tax evasion soon. I genuinely don't know. And like, don't even get me started on healthcare. I could not tell you what plan I have or how much I pay for it. Every time a job tells me to sign up for benefits, I just click a bunch of buttons and then pray I don't die. And like, what even is a deductible?
This. After being kidnapped, raped, and beaten into a coma, I never expected to be homeless. I had straight A's in high school. I had straight A's all the way through my double master's degree. I worked for 15 years in corporate and woke up after being beaten into a coma to find that all of my family was dead. I could not contact any friends for their safety, and everything that I owned had either been confiscated, stolen, or completely destroyed. All I owned was the clothes on my back, which was a tank top, a pair of panties, and a pair of socks. And the cops even tried to arrest me for it, for indecent exposure.
No matter how much you try not to, no matter how many times you do them, no matter how often you do them, no matter how well you do them, you will always, always, always be in a perpetual fucking state of needing to do the dishes. It never fucking ends.
I have to figure out what to eat 3 times a day, every day, for the rest of my fucking life. That shit gets tiring.
Bills, taxes, working Monday to Friday, being too tired on the weekend to do anything because you just work Monday to Friday, doctor's appointments, phone calls, why are they so hard? Mattresses are stupid expensive, groceries are going up in price, then there's fuel, and then like buying a car, paying auto repair, rent, mortgage, fucking my back hurts all the time, my knees hurt all the time, it's fucking bullshit. I eat something, I get fat, I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Why is the kitchen always dirty? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody warned us about this shit. It's fucking bullshit. No, they're like, you just don't want to grow up. No, fuck you. This is bullshit. I'm tired of this fucking shit. Nobody warned us about fucking anything.
Money? We are literally playing a fucking game. Like we go to the store and shop. We buy things. Just change dollars into points. Now imagine you have 300 points, but the item you want requires you to have 400 points. What do you need to do to get those extra points? You need to go play a game. You need to go work or do something so you can get those extra points. And once you do this task, you get coins. And the coins have values. And the value is the number of points you get. It's made up. Yeah, we all know this and we're all sick and tired of it. But I'm not just repeating this just to repeat it. This is dangerous. We don't know how to do shit for ourselves because long as we have points, someone else can do it for us. What are we going to do when the economy crashes? Because this isn't going to last forever.
It's so fucking lonely. Oh my god. Everybody is either at work, having kids, getting married, or depressed. It doesn't work. What am I supposed to do? Buy furniture? Buy food? That's all I do. Or I talk to this painting. What? That shit is lonely.
Oh hey, you have to plan to hang out with people
before you know you want to hang out with them. Hear me out, friends. Yeah, you need to get on their schedules weeks, months in advance. There are things that have to be negotiated. Childcare, businesses, family obligations, other people they're also hanging out with. It literally will not happen on its own. If by some miracle you do actually get to hang out with each other, you had better make sure that there is a date on a calendar before the evening is over. Otherwise, you're 3 weeks out. The amount of texts back and forth to try to get a hangout. Oh, you're bored on a Saturday? You're a month behind.
You get so prepared for, how to be safe during sex, how to turn down drugs at a party. No one prepares you for the fact that the whole of your adult life you might not have any sex, get invited to any parties, or offered any drugs. That's a problem I cannot solve.
You know how adults tell you when you're a kid, like, oh, you have all the time in the world. No, you don't. No, you don't. You absolutely do not. The average life expectancy in the United States is currently 78 years, okay? And 18 of those are spent in childhood. So you have about 60 of your adult years to decide who you want to be and what you want to do, right? Wrong. If you sleep even 7 hours a night, then you've lost 17.5 years. Oh, full-time job? 10.8. You have to get to that job though, right? So that's going to be another 1.2 years of your life driving. A huge chunk of your life is going to be working out, sitting on the toilet, cleaning, showering, grocery shopping, and let's just throw in an extra 5 years for all of this other shit. So the amount of time that you actually have for like dreaming and cultivating hobbies and forging deep friendships and relationships and having kids is like this. Choose wisely.
This is gonna be good. You only date within your economic class. Cinderella story never happens. Partying turns to substance and alcohol abuse within most of your friends if they don't stop it until they're 30, 32. You can look weird, act weird, and talk weird as long as you're making money, and normal people will still respect you. Nobody ever really grows up and changes. They learn to mask most of their shitty personality traits. Compatibility is way more important than infatuation in relationships. It's really hard to find, make, and maintain friendships. Most of the people around you at some point will start hating novelty and change, and they will admit to it and be proud of it, and that's infuriating. A lot of people pretend to be experts and know what they're doing when they're not.
And subscribe. We publish new videos every day.